Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Blissful Living Podcast. This is Dr. Rochel Lawson, the Queen of Feeling Fabulous. And I am so happy to be here with you today. Got a great show in store for you. And, as I always say, if you love the show, please subscribe and share the show with everyone you know. Today's show, we're going to be talking about how to protect your energy, optimize your health so that you can feel your best. And so before we get started on that topic, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Blissful Living for You at Blissful Living, the number 4, the letter U.com. They've got an event coming up, several events that you can have access to that talks about being unstoppable in your wellness, wisdom, and well. They also have some fabulous things for you to help you to have an amazing feeling during the summertime, fall, spring, and winter season that also helps you to look absolutely fabulous and feel energized. So just some of the things that they have available, of course, just so a wealth of information. So if you're looking to improve your wellness, wisdom, and well, then you definitely want to check out Blissful Living at the number 4, the letter U.com. The next sponsor I want to thank is All Day Cable Incorporated at alldaycableinc.com. It is a telecommunications installation company specializing in voice data, fiber optic cable installation, as well as all things network distribution, audio speakers, modems, wireless access points, you name it. They do it so that you can make the connection right the first time when you're connecting with your customer on the other end. They specialize in servicing small, medium, and very large corporations, and they are located in the heart of Silicon Valley. So if you have a need, and one thing else, they are a woman-owned company. If you have a need and you want to deal with a premier company that's been around for 35 years, then you want to check out alldaycableinc.com. They have 5-star reviews on their website, and you definitely won't go wrong if you're a company that is in need of enhancing your telecommunications, having it installed or completely revamped. Alldaycableinc.com. And now, I like to tell you how to find a place to sit, gather something to write with, get your favorite beverage. Today I'm drinking water, and tell your family to give you a few moments so that you can engage in the information and take nuggets of gold, copy nuggets of gold that is going to be shared by today's guest. And while you're doing that, let me introduce today's guest. Now, we talked about in the opening how the topic today is going to be about protecting your energy, optimizing your health so that you can feel your best. And today's guest is a functional medicine and clinical nutritionist practitioner and an innate coach that believes the body's innate ability to heal itself. With more than a decade in the health and wellness industry and coaches clients around the globe, our guest today, Katria Hasan, is going to help us to understand more about how we can incorporate health and well-being into our life. Now, she's going to guide us with some simple secrets that can change our life and show us how to protect our energy and optimize our health so that we can feel and perform our best. And so I want to welcome Katria to the Blissful Living Podcast. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for saying yes. I want to jump into this topic because I know you've got to share a lot of information with us, and I want everyone to be able to capture the nuggets of gold because it's very important that we be able to have optimal health and well-being. That's our greatest asset. It's greater than any wealth we could ever obtain. So I want to ask this first questions with regards to what is the premise behind protecting our energy so that we can have optimal health and well-being?
That's a great question because the energy is what the conversation we're having now, we're using energy. When we eat, we use energy. When we sleep, we use energy. Everything we do is based on energy. If we don't have energy, then the system literally breaks down. So protecting the energy, then we can function better. We can focus more clearly. So energy, everything's honestly based on energy. So protecting the energy, the body will function better. But also it will speed up the healing process of the body. Because without energy, we won't be able to eliminate toxins from the body. And then everything breaks down. So protecting the energy means basically protecting your health and your well-being.
So energy, I know it's really important. I don't think a lot of times we think of our bodies as being this energy powerhouse, like a electric power station. It's energy.
Right.
And when you are feeling depleted in your energy, you do not ebb and flow in the day gracefully and easily. You kind of stumble along, and you might get through the day, but you don't get through the day as good as when you're feeling really energetic. So with regards to that, and when you think about all the processes that happen in our body, I could see the relation as to how important it is to have energy so that we can have the optimal health and well-being. Now, I want to ask you this question. When it comes to energy and having that, what are some of the first signs that we should be able, or that we can recognize to give us an indication that we might be lacking in our energy fields? And hold on to that, because we got to take a quick break. But when we come back, I want you to answer that question for us, okay? We'll be right back to the Blissful Living Podcast with the Queen of Feeling Fabulous and Katria. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back to the Blissful Living Podcast. This is Dr. Rochel Lawson with Katria, and we're talking about our energy right now and protecting our energy so that we have optimal health and well-being. So I asked a question before we went to take the break. Can you go ahead and answer, what are some of the first signs and symptoms for us to start honing in and paying attention to when our body begins to have energy depletion?
That's absolutely incredible question you ask, because a lot of people are actually not aware of it. I can give you an example myself. I was functionally depleted, but I have so much energy. I thought I had energy, because a lot of times we don't actually pay attention, the body crying for out loud. Just to give you an idea, I was working in a corporate world, doing so many different things, running long distance, but I was depleted until I burned out. So people think doing a lot of things means you have energy, but you actually don't have energy. You are depleted until you break down. So the most important thing people will have to understand is when do you listen your body well? Because there are so many things the body are telling us, but we are so busy and not actually listening.
So for instance, what are some of the things that we should be listening to and paying attention to that, most people are not aware of?
One of the first things that people actually are not aware of, there's what's called negative energy and positive energy. The negative energy will be not being able to sit still. That's the negative energy. Yet you feel so depleted, you reaching for caffeine, but yet you have so much energy. So it's called the negative energy. But when you actually have a positive energy, you will have the ability to sit down. When you need to sit down, you have the ability to do when you have to do it. We'll clear-headed. But a lot of times people are so busy with other things, they cannot sit still. Yet they are depleted, they reaching for a caffeine to lift them up. So those are the difference with the positive energy and the negative energy. So listening your body will be an incredible way to listen to your body and say, am I having a negative energy or am I having a positive energy? If you have a positive energy, you will be able to sit down with your mind racing, without racing it, without reaching caffeine. But you will have the ability to do things when you have to do it.
Let me ask you this question with regards to that. So, basically, if we're not able to sit down and be still, so to speak, we're running on a little bit of a negative energy cycle. And I think that the constant getting up and moving around is a way for us to not only distract ourselves from the depleting energy that we're experiencing in our body, but also to kind of keep us going, tricking ourselves into thinking that we have good energy. Now, when it comes to optimizing the good energy part, how do we go about doing that so that we feel it in our, in our the mental capacity as well as the physical capacity?
One of the first things, sleep. Sleep, getting a restorative sleep will be definitely the first thing.
And just share with the listeners, what do you mean by restorative sleep?
Okay, quality sleep. Sometimes people think getting few hours here, few hours there, that would be enough sleep. When I mean restorative sleep, I mean a deep quality sleep, because when the body gets a quality deep sleep, that's when you eliminate toxins from your body.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the body heals, and that's when the body rejuvenates. So when we go to a deep sleep, you will feel the difference the next day. Your quality of energy will be different. Your focus will be different. Your decision making will be different. But when you go to sleep next day, if you wake up and you still feel drowsy, if you feel tired, you need energy drinks, you need caffeine, then that means you're not getting restorative sleep.
Got it. And the key to restorative sleep is not only to help enhance, keep our energy levels up, but also to help our body and allow our bodies to heal, correct?
Absolutely. Because when we in a deep sleep, that's the one the body eliminates the toxins. Because when we sleep, when I talked about earlier, we need energy sleep. That means the body needs energy to eliminate toxins from the body and to heal itself.
Okay.
So without eliminating, you have a toxin circulating in your body. That's why a lot of people tired in the morning, because they haven't eliminated toxins from the body in their system. So that if you know it, most of the cities, they clean the city streets during the night while people are sleeping. And the body also eliminates toxins during the night to eliminate toxins to get ready for tomorrow.
Got it.
So that's restorative sleep. You're restoring your energy.
Okay. So basically getting a good night's sleep, waking up feeling refreshed,
Yes.
Not tired, not having to reach for that caffeine.
Correct.
Is a key indicator of your body's ability during the night to restore the energy and eliminate toxins. Toxins are a key to what I'm understanding you're saying is toxins within the body, and holding on to those are a key to having a negative effect upon our energy levels within our bodies and our mind, correct?
Absolutely.
So now I want to ask you this question with regards to the foods we eat. What are some foods? We know food is nourishment, but not all food provides us really good energy. I mean, you can reach for a candy bar and get some false energy, but it's not necessarily nourishment. Or you can reach for something that's nourishing, but still don't get, it doesn't enable us to have the sustainable energy that we need throughout the day. So what are some good foods? And we're going to take a quick break, but before we go, just leaving this thought with you, what are some good energizing foods that we can intake into our body that will sustain us throughout the day, help nourish and give our bodies what it needs to optimally have that great energy and allow us to get some restorative sleep? We'll be back with Katria to answer that question after we take this quick break. Stay tuned for the Blissful Living Podcast. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. It's the Queen of Feeling Fabulous here with Katria, and we're talking about foods now that can help us to feel energized throughout the day, mentally, physically, and allow us to get restorative sleep. So what are some foods that you would recommend people begin eating or incorporating into their diet that will allow them to have that sustainable, powerful, positive energy that will not only help them throughout the day, mentally and physically, but also to get that restorative sleep?
Yes, before I actually answer that, I just want to make sure water before I got into the food. Water. Yes, absolutely water. Always water, because the 70 to 80% of the body is made of water. So without without having enough hydration in your body, the food becomes secondary. So the primary thing is actually water, making sure you have enough water. I always use this analogy. If you have the most expensive shampoo, body wash, dishwasher, but you don't have enough water, you won't be able to clean your stuff or your dishes. So it doesn't matter what type of food you have. If you're not having enough water, A, you won't be able to digest the food better because you need water to digest food. B, you need water to eliminate toxins from your body, because if you're not eliminating toxins, toxins is still in your system. So you need water to clean the house.
And how much water do you suggest we take in?
So, normally it depends on your activity level, because if you are working outside, if you are doing a lot of activity, if you are under a lot of stress, your water intake will be different. Each individual is different, but I always tell people, half of your body weight, use in an ounce. So let's say if you are 150 pounds, 75 ounces of water in water. So try it. But I normally will always say keep a water on your desk, on your fridge as a reminder. And it's something you can see it all the time. But if let's say today you drink like 10 cups of daily, I will always add an extra cup. And each cup's 250 ml. So it's not a lot. At the end of the week, if you add extra cup, will be 7 cups. At the end of the month, will be 30 cups. At the end of the year, will be 360 cups. So just imagine, do the small things, actually do consistently, and it will become a ritual. So I will always go with the water, because the study after study shows we actually deplete it. One of the reasons is water. And a lot of people, the reason they think they are tired and they are hungry, they are thirsty.
So water is actually a key to having the energy that we need mentally and physically, which makes sense because, a body needs to be well lubricated inside so that, functions. We have our blood, we have our, all these byproducts, urine and, stool and things of that nature that sometimes the water gets sucked into. And if we're not drinking enough, then all of that becomes viscous and thicker, so to speak. And then we can't get the nutrients we need from the other food that we take in. Now, are there any foods that you recommend that we take in for, beyond water, that we take in that will naturally energize us without leaving us with any side effects and allow us to get that restorative sleep?
Absolutely. One of the things the 3 main foods, macronutrients, which the main ones are the protein, fat, and carbohydrates. I always make sure on each meal you have a protein, because the protein is what actually helps your blood sugar balance. So once your blood sugar is balanced, it prevents the energy dipping, so it helps you balance. Each time your blood sugar dips, you want to reach something quick to bring it back up.
Right.
So protein, clean protein, could be animal proteins, could be fish, could be a chicken, could be a meat. If you're not a meat eater, could be beans, could be lentils, could be a mix of a little bit of avocado, nuts and seeds. So make sure each meal you have some clean protein. That will prevent you from eating the wrong food. But also each time your blood sugar fluctuates, actually affects your clarity, mental clarity, and also cravings. A lot of people crave, not because they need food.
Yeah, a lot of people crave sweets. I know I do sometimes, and it's
because your blood sugar dips.
Yeah, when I have a dip in energy. Yeah.
Yeah. So because every time, I want to emphasize that the reason being is the brain is only 2 to 3 pounds of the body weight, but it actually consumes more than 25% of the oxygen level in the body. So each time your energy dips, you want to grab something because your brain needs energy. So you don't want your brain to dip because you need energy to get going, because the brain and the heart are emergency organs. So a little bit of protein on each meal that actually will help you sustain, but also will make sure it's satisfying. Those proteins actually, it helps you stay feeling full longer. So you
Yes.
won't get the wrong food. So I always say, you know what? Eat things you like, but also eat things that actually makes you feel better. Because a lot of times when we eat something we like, if we feel bad, it's not good for the body. So always pay attention to your body, how you feel the food you eat. If it makes you bad, that means it's not good for you. Your taste buds like it, but your body actually telling you no. So listen to your body.
So okay, now, when it comes to like taking in sweets and things of that nature, how does, because if we don't take in food, our blood sugar dips, which typically people grab candy or something sweet or coffee or something like that to raise the blood sugar up. Now, with regards to blood sugar imbalance, how does this affect our hormones that help us to operate efficiently, effectively in the body? We're going to take a quick break, but I want you to, when we come back, I want you to answer that question. We'll be right back to the Blissful Living podcast with Dr. Rochel Marie Lawson and Katria in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back to the Blissful Living podcast. And we're talking about blood sugar and how a dip in our blood sugar or a rise in our blood sugar affects our hormones. And so can you share with the listeners a little bit of information about the importance of keeping our blood sugar balanced?
Absolutely. You actually ask a great question, how the blood sugar affects the hormones. Insulin is a hormone. So insulin is a hormone. I call hormones the highway. Imagine when you take the highway with no signs. Just imagine what's going to happen. It's going to be a disaster. So when your hormones are not balanced, it literally affects everything. It affects your energy level. Mm-hmm. It affects your mental clarity. It affects your decision. It affects literally everything in your life. So I always use that analogy. Imagine taking the highway and there's no signs. It's free for all. You do whatever you want to, and you can imagine what's going to happen. So insulin is a hormone, and when your blood sugar fluctuates, there's going to be a chaos. So in order to prevent that, what you do is you eat the what I said earlier. The proteins always make sure your blood sugar doesn't fluctuate. You're preventing the blood fluctuation, but also you're nourishing the body. The body is an incredible machine. When you give the body what it needs, it will treat you well. How do you know the body? You're nourishing the body. You function better. You have a better clarity, and you eat the right things. So always, it's a feedback. It's a feedback loop. If you actually listen to your body, you will always gravitate to things that will actually the body needs it. But a lot of times, actually, we are not listening to the body. Your hands.
Yeah, I think sometimes we just think, we really don't. I've seen that time and time again where particularly people don't listen to the signs and symptoms of their body. I know when I was doing clinical practice as a nurse in the hospital, in the ER, there would be patients that would come in with diabetes, and the signs and symptoms of low blood sugar would be very prevalent, or high blood sugar would be prevalent, but a lot of times they wouldn't listen to their bodies talking to them until it got to where they had to listen. And then they were bringing them into the emergency department for us to take care of. I think this has been a very enlightening conversation with regards to paying attention to our body, keeping our energy optimized and how we can do that, making sure we get restorative sleep, keeping ourselves hydrated. I think we hear it so often, but I think a lot of times we take it for granted that drinking water is a key to keeping our bodies hydrated, and our bodies they function better with better energy when we're not dehydrated and we're hydrated. Everything in our body processes function good. And then also you mentioned about eating protein, making sure we get enough protein in our diets, or legumes, beans, things of that nature that enhance us having a stabilized blood sugar, but also feeding us with the nutrients we need to keep our bodies optimized and healthy and well-being. It's been wonderful having you on the show, Katria.
Thank you.
Is there any last words with like in 30 seconds that you want to leave with the listeners with regards
Absolutely.
to? Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I just want to make sure human beings will overcomplicate things. Simple things. Simple things. Adding extra cup of water to your daily routine. Eating extra vegetable. It doesn't matter which one. Start with one. Just think about the compounding effect and the power of one. You do small things and do simple things. Always simple things is a sustainable things.
I love it. I love it. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Simple things. At the end of the week, if you do one simple thing, at the end of the week, 7 vegetable. At the end of the month, extra 30 pieces of the vegetable. So small things, and then you accumulate.
Love it. So we are now going to end the show, but we want to thank our sponsors, the Blissful Living for You at Blissful Living, the number 4, the letter U.com. We want to thank All Day Cable Inc. at alldaycableinc.com. Thanking the fabulous guest, Katria, for her information about how we can keep our energy optimized. And thanking all of you for tuning in. Please subscribe and share the show with everyone you love and care about so that we can get this information out, so that we all can feel absolutely energized, optimized, and absolutely fabulous. This is the Queen of Feeling Fabulous, Dr. Rochel Marie Lawson. And until next time, may you drink plenty of water, make sure you get restorative sleep, and definitely, and I got my water here too, and definitely include a little protein in your diet and stay away from the caffeine. Take good care, everyone, and goodbye for now.